Okay, welcome back to another issues for this week. Coming up 9/29 to start. I'm your favorite not hater, Mr. Brown, in the building again. Another episode here. We're gonna get into it real quick. We're gonna start with our fallen brother, Marcellus Williams. Lost his life tragically due to a wrongful lethal injection. Could have been saved, could have had his life spared. Get into the election a little bit. We're going to talk about how your choice can shape the way that the Supreme Court can be organized, set up. And then finally, we're going to do some shout outs to some businesses that are around that, doing some good things out here in the world. So, like I said, first up, we're going to start with Marcellus Williams, a gentleman from Missouri who was executed this week after, many petitions and many protests to have his life spared. He was ultimately executed by the governor of Missouri this week, when his life could have been spared due to DNA coming in that it wasn't him who committed the murder of Miss Gail back in 1998. He was convicted in 2001, and he sat, in prison for 23 years until his death this past week. Send condolences out to his family, friends, etc. But his life could have been spared. His case made it all the way to the Supreme Court, and even the Supreme Court denied his clemency request, which is unfortunate because he could have, like I said, his life could have been spared. He could have been, fighting for a new trial at this point, but he instead had to lose his life due to whatever reason they may come up with for it. They just determined that he was the person who did it. He was guilty, and, somebody had to pay for the act that was committed. Meanwhile, that person who actually did it could be walking around free right now under the sound of my voice. So it's a tragedy nonetheless for Mr. Williams. I hope his soul is at peace, and that his family can heal and continue to live life the way that they are accustomed to living now, with him not being a part of it. It sucks, but that's the way life is sometimes. But with that, I would urge you, the election is coming up. And like I stated before, I'm not here to tell you who to vote for. I'm not here to sway you in any way, but I would urge you to vote. Your vote does matter, because if you didn't know, the 3 justices who were part of the decision for Mr. Williams were handpicked by the president, Donald Trump. So your vote does matter, because the president does pick the Supreme Court justices. And I just feel like if, we had some more votes and some different justices at the time, like I said before, Mr. Williams might have got a fair shake at a different trial. His life could have been ultimately spared. That's why your vote is important, man. These presidents and these leaders make, serious decisions like that. Who the Supreme Court handles a lot of high-profile cases when they get them. Roe versus Wade, to be exact. You have people whose thinking or mindset is out of date for this time period, making these decisions that are going to affect the future. And in my opinion, you don't want that, right? You want somebody who has fresh ideas or fresh way of thinking to influence the future, because our kids and our kids' kids are going to be living and governed by these decisions that these people are making. And these people, no offense to those who are older, these people are a little old and they could possibly be out of touch. So you would want them to have a term kind of like the president, because right now Supreme Court is a lifetime appointment. In my opinion, they should restructure it and make it 2 terms, just like the president. And once your second term is up, you go on and write a book or do whatever it is that ex-presidents do, get a library, whatever the case is. But you shouldn't be on the Supreme Court for 50, 60, 70, some odd years, making decisions for generations that have overlapped you and passed you by. That just does not make sense to me. And if you feel like your vote is not important, this is one of the main reasons why it is important. Those justices get old, they get in their ways, they start thinking about how life used to be back in, I don't know, 1950, 60, whatever the case is, and they vote on these cases as such. You need someone from your era or a little older, because I say like Justice Sotomayor and I think it's Jackson, who was just, they are of the younger crowd. Not saying that they're going to vote and make everything just for young people, but at the same time, their thought process isn't somewhere far in segregation, and they can make just decisions because they have been in the world that's updated. Those old justices remember, I hate to put it this way, but they remember racism as though it was a natural thing. Racism isn't really a natural thing anymore. It happens, yes, but it's not a natural thing. So use your vote wisely. Again, I'm not going to tell you who to vote for because that's not my place. I don't do that. I'm not a political pundit. I'm not a political expert. I just have an opinion. I'm just making it known. Do your research. Vote for who you're going to vote for. Remember, presidents pick justices. Justices make decisions on cases and laws that affect you years and years and years later. If you don't remember nothing else, just remember that. That's the end of that. I'm going to move on. Shout out to some of these businesses and community, in the community. Shout out to some of these, I don't want to call them restaurants, but like food caterers too. I'm just going to give a couple of them some shout outs, and then we're going to be out. We're going to move on. Starting off with Rebirth, the label, run by Melanie. You can find her on Facebook at Rebirth, the label. That's the page, so like it, subscribe to it. Also on IG by the same name. She got some clothing up there. She got some things coming on the way. I see the advertisements daily. So give her some support, man. It's hard out here running a business. You think it's easy, but it's definitely not. Shout out to Rich Kids Clothing, Rico Graham. He's also, got a clothing line out. You can find him on Facebook by Rico Graham, I believe, or Ricardo Graham. You can find him there. He's got pictures of his clothes out. Support him. Get a shirt, get a hoodie. I got a couple for sure. Cheesecakes by Rail. You can find him on Facebook by the same name, Cheesecakes by Rail. Got a lot of different flavors on there. You can find him on Instagram if you have that too, by the same name. Just give him some support. He's got all his info out there. Get a cheesecake, get a slice, get a cup, get everything you want. And just make sure to tell them the Not Hater sent you. Shout out to Mama's Mixers. You can find that particular business on Instagram at mama_mixers. They got the drink game on Smash. A lot of different flavors for you. You can get single individual drinks. You can get a pint, you can get a pitcher, you can get anything you need. You can get that. So shout out to her. Mama's Mixers, they always got what you need. They getting mixy. And shout out to Dress Code. That's JRESS Code. You can find them on Instagram at X_JCKA. Once again, that's X_JCKA. They have a lot of different fashions on there. You follow them, get something, get a hoodie, get a t-shirt, show them some support, show them some love. With that being said, I want to thank everybody that's been tuning in, everybody again that's been positive over these last couple weeks and months that I've been on this journey. There's more episodes, full episodes coming. There'll be more issues of the week as I see stuff and, want to leave my 2 cents on what's going on in the world. So Stay tuned. I appreciate everybody. Share it, like it, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. The Not Hater Podcast. It's me, the Not Hater, Mr. Brown. Peace and love. Enjoy your day. I'm out.